Ah,
Oh,
oh,
hello.
hello. What are you reading there, Chris?
I'm reading sort of an empty notebook, sadly.
Mine's slightly better. Mine's a book my friend sent me actually that he wrote himself, Projection by Alan Boyce. Thank you very much. I have not read it at all yet either. So
Get on with it.
I've been busy. I've been busy, Chris. I've been busy planning these Monkey Mondays.
Oh, yes. And
Yeah.
we have. And the title of today's one is Don't Get a New Website, It Could Ruin Your Business.
Weird thing for a creative agency to say, right?
Yeah, it is a little bit. And the first thing I want to start off with is that when you're running a business or running a marketing team or whatever, you don't need to know all the solutions. You just need to know that there's a problem, right?
Yeah, completely. You used a great analogy, Chris. I loved this one because it resonated with me. My car is broken at the moment, actually. And when you take your car to the mechanic, you wouldn't sort of turn up and say, "Hey, mechanic." Well, you might do this, but you'd have to have a lot of knowledge about engines, I guess. You wouldn't turn up and say, "Hey, my car just keeps cutting out. I want a new fan belt, just to show my mechanical knowledge here, some new spark plugs, and then a rocker cover and something else, please." Because it wouldn't. It's ridiculous. You'd go to that mechanic and you'd explain your problems, and you'd have the mechanic go away and think about it and have a look at things for you, and then come back and say, "Well, we think it's this. We think we should replace this," and then everything's going to be wonderful for you.
Yeah, and it's quite a good analogy to say that you're a driver on not a mechanic because they could replace all those bits, and really the problem is you haven't got any wheels, but you don't know the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you get frustrated with that mechanic maybe and take it to another mechanic and ask for some different things from that mechanic, and yet still your car's not running as you'd expect it to.
yeah. So yeah, all you need to know is that there's a problem with your business, in our world anyway, in branding and marketing. So if you know there's a problem, then you go to a marketing and branding agency and tell them that there's a problem and what it is, and then let them help you come up with the solutions. Because we've seen many companies over the years, so we've seen many problems like the mechanic has. He goes, that's, you just need to do a bit more social media and you just need to engage more with your clients, and then that problem will go away. It's quite straightforward for them, but it's only a one-off problem that you've got down your end.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to see as well. And actually, most businesses, if you are like a marketing manager or something like that, you'll have quite a lot of knowledge as well. So it's difficult with the mechanic analogy as well, because you probably know how to already do loads of stuff on your car, but it's still not working. So we see sort of marketing managers and marketing directors, and they have really great knowledge. They're really across some stuff. No one can really be across everything, and that's why you need a team. And you might have a great internal team, but having like somebody come in from the outside and understand your problems and offer a different perspective can be really valuable.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say beware of like a big web company who just farm out websites, because they'll be happy to take the engine out of your car and fit a new one, even if it doesn't need changing. They'll be happy to take that money and just go away. So what I would say is look for that good mechanic that you can all describe. We can all describe a great mechanic, someone who's honest, who's going to tell you the real problem, who's going to give you a decent price. And you could translate that into a good web company. So, yes, an honest bunch of people who will be creative with the solutions that they come up with. You know, it's pretty straightforward stuff at the end of the day. And it also takes the risk away from you as a marketing manager. So if you're a marketing manager, it's obviously going to be better to have 10 people think about a problem that you've got than you come up with something, you try it, it fails, then what do you do next? Because the risk is now going up and up, because you've now got to come up with something else and then try and get past the board. But, well, that thing last week didn't work very well. So it's good to pass on the risk to people like us who've also seen stuff before.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, Chris. And even if it's not even if it's not leaning on an agency, just leaning on your team as well, because lots of SMEs, they have those smaller teams, and sharing that with those guys and giving them loads of responsibility and value behind this stuff could be useful. And they might know people, and just don't try and do everything yourself, I think, is the one of the key things to take out of this. Because if you try and have all knowledge of everything, you'll end up with small knowledge and not enough to be able to be an expert in what you need to be, which is your company, right? Because while we can offer great advice, or your team might be able to offer great advice, or any external party or a consultancy might be able to offer great advice around marketing, or around video production, or around branding, or creative communication, or better systems, or automation, or any of those things, none of them are going to understand your business as well as you do. So you really want your focus to be on understanding your business and your customers, and really try and lean on those people that can bring you real value on the stuff that you don't need to worry about too much. It's a bit like, if you're going to pay an agency, an external company, to look after your paid advertising, what you kind of want from them is an idea of how well those campaigns are running, and you kind of want an idea of how the return of investment is going and engagement is going. You probably don't want to sit there and have to analyze every single advert and understand the target demographics and all of the complexity of managing something in Google Ad Manager or Facebook advertising, or whether the pixels are properly installed on your site and the tracking's in place. You don't want to be bogged down with the horror show of all that detail. What you want is to look at these top level things and have them communicated back to you really well.
Yeah, I mean, it would be much easier for you in business just to say, we're not getting through enough inquiries. Can you help? And then we or a good marketing agency can come up with a suite of proposals that will fill your order books and help engage with your customers. I mean, there's also a lot of pressure from people inside business to say, oh, our website's really old, and that must be the fix to everything. Whereas actually, some companies benefit from not having a website and they do all their business elsewhere. And some businesses, the website is the answer. So it's a tricky thing. I would definitely go with just spend more time coming up with the problems that you got in your business, that you don't have enough leads, you don't convert enough leads, rather than try and come up with all the solutions on your own.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting too many bad reviews. These things are really powerful things to go to your mechanic with and say, look, here is the issue I have. How can I improve this? So yeah, maybe that. Quick story actually. Why not? Story time, Chris.
Yeah, go on then.
Get my book out. I had I might have told this story before on a vlog. Who knows? But I had a potential customer, ring up and say, I want a new website, and so we do what we normally do. I said, well, why? Why do you want a new website? He says, well, I've got this 3-page thing over here. It's built in Wix, and it's not bringing me any business. So after asking why a few times, I kind of understood what she was trying to do. And she was actually trying to do some thought leadership. That was basically her service to people, was thought leadership in business. And I quickly realised actually that she didn't have a huge amount of budget. And while we could have done that thing you suggested, just been that mechanic and gone, okay, yes, here you go, here's your new website for £2,000. If that's what you've got, here's what we can give you for that, which wouldn't be very much, and probably wouldn't have been a heck of a lot better than what she'd already kind of cobbled together, to be fair. I doubt it would have performed any better. So what I encourage her actually to do is not to have a website at all, because everything she's trying to do really is selling her self as a person, and actually she could probably do a lot better with that budget through learning how to put some vlogs together, spending some time and money on getting places where she could speak and actually do some thought leadership, filming them, sharing the content, building her audience, advertising on social media, creating engagement, all through social media. She maybe just didn't need a website at all, or keep what she has. It's fine. She just needs to get the right people to it. So I think that's a really good case of somebody, a website could have just ruined her business. It could have taken all of her budget and achieved absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And it's amazing how many people are willing to take that money off those kind of clients. And then after they've got their pushed up figure, if she had $2,500, they go, well, you only get a decent website for about 4. And then after that's failed, then they go, well, let's try another upsell. And they'll take more and more money. It's sort of scammy, I feel.
Yeah, you need some e-commerce on there. That'll help you. People don't want to just fill in. Let's build an e-commerce site. No, you need massive amounts of online marketing to get people to there. It's it can be nefarious. I agree.
Mm. Yeah, so you need to find an ethical agency. I wonder where those are.
To be honest, there are loads out there. We know some really great agencies, but the ones to look out for are the ones that ask you why you want to do what you want to do, and to try and draw that down and understand your goals. Goals and budgets, guys. Goals and budgets.
Yeah, so after the vlog a couple of weeks ago where we talked about the best ideas come in hammocks, I would say this week, get in your hammock and then think about the problems you've got in your business. List them out and then take them to someone good who can help you out. If
you don't have a hammock, here's a link below to an Amazon
affiliated
hammock. Yeah, why not?
We can make a fortune.
There probably isn't a link below. I feel really bad for the guys that put our actual vlogs together. They have to sift through everything we say and add all these links. Here's a link to free bananas.
And with that in mind, here's some links to some videos that you might like to watch, and a link to subscribe, which may appear over one of our faces. Who knows?
I'm going to see if they can position it in my mouth.
Is it big enough? Yeah. See you next week, guys.
Bye, everyone.